Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloye in Abuja. Let's begin by letting you know reactions on the Plateau legislative seat. Some of the judgments that have been ruled out by the appeal court affecting some legislative seat, both in the House of Assembly and in the National Assembly. The Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room. The Situation Room is an umbrella body for several civil society organizations in Nigeria and is calling on the National Judicial Council, NJC, to take action following the lead judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agwim of the Supreme Court in the appeal of the Plateau State governorship election petition, wherein the Supreme Court chided the Court of Appeal panel that sat over appeals on legislative elections conducted in Plateau State. The Situation Room believes that there was a severe miscarriage of justice and subversions of the will of the people caused by the Court of Appeal panel that sat over the cases of the legislators elected at the state and National Assembly levels of Plateau State. The civil society organization says, given that the Court of Appeal was the final judicial authority over these matters, and in fact that the Supreme Court had set down precedents that were binding on the Court of Appeal panel, it's important that the NJC takes steps to bring to book the justices of the panel in the Court of Appeal and other similar appeal panels who have acted in flagrant violation of set-down precedents. This action by the Court of Appeal, according to the CSO, has wrought and brought severe injustice and desecration of the people's democratic right to choose their elected representatives and should not be allowed to go unpunished. The Situation Room calls on the NJC to take steps to re-establish the importance of judicial precedents in the judgment processes of the court and ensure that judges comply with these well-established principles of judicial practice. Tonight, we'll be bringing you right in the front seat on some of the Supreme Court judgments today, and we'll be hearing directly from those who have benefited from this. What does this mean? And going forward, in these different states, what are the implications of the Supreme Court judgments of today? 6 cases in 6 different states. 6 appeals were determined by the highest court in the land today. We'll be bringing you up to speed in some of these judgments. Stay with me, everyone, because first and foremost, we need to serve you with some of your political roundup stories.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says arrests have been made of some persons in connection with feeding bandits with information in the area. The minister disclosed this during a town hall meeting with the Gwagwalada Area Council chairman, traditional rulers, security operatives, and residents of Gwagwalada Area Council in Gwagwalada, Abuja. Though he didn't state the number of persons arrested or where the arrest was made, he assured residents of the Gwagwalada area not to panic, as there will be improvement in the security situation in the FCT in the coming days.
President don't direct them say, you no one hear any story again about this kidnapping. Whether na Gwagwalada, whether na Buhari, whether na the FCT itself, whether na Abajo, whether na Akujo, anywhere where it is, you no one hear them again.
The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has pleaded not guilty to the amended 20-count charge leveled against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The amended charges against Mr. Emefiele now include alleged criminal breach of trust, forgery, conspiracy to commit forgery, procurement fraud, and alleged conspiracy to commit felony. The Osun State chapter of the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, IPAC, has accused the chairman of the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, Mr. Hashim Abioye, of sidelining the political parties in the state ahead of the conduct of the local government elections in the state. In an exclusive interview with Channels in Osogbo, the secretary of IPAC in the state, Mr. Tosin Odeyemi, alleges that the OSEC chairman is a member of the PDP and cannot conduct a free and fair election. But in a swift reaction, the OSEC chairman dismissed the allegations and described it as baseless. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Niger State has announced 3rd February 2024 as date for rerun election in Lavun State House of Assembly constituency. The resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Ahmed Gerki, speaking at the commission's headquarters in Niger State, says 9,121 registered voters are expected to take part in the election across 32 polling units. And from the southeast state of Imo, where a group in the All Progressives Congress under the aegis of Imo Progressive Movement is assuring the people of Imo State that the Uzodinma administration will deliver on all its campaign promises, urging all Imo indigents, irrespective of party affiliation, to support the government in order to achieve all that it has set to achieve in the next 4 years in the best interest of the state.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get right to it into some of the conversation we'll be having tonight on the program. So 6 jobs confirmed, 6 jobs saved, 6 elections affirmed. The Supreme Court has spoken. And now what it means is that 6 governorship appeals that were brought before the Supreme Court today for it to decide, and it's made pronouncement in those cases affirming the elections of these governors. Take a look at them. The governors of Nasarawa, Kaduna, Kebbi, Ogun, Delta, and that of, which other state is it? Gombe. It's failing in this state. I don't know what's going on. And there's been reactions to this judgment from, of course, from Kaduna. You can see reactions trailing the decision of the Supreme Court, and up to Delta in Ogun. And, of course, Nasarawa. There are different reactions trailing some of the judgment that have come out of the Supreme Court. One of the states which a lot of Nigerians were expecting today is out of Nasarawa State. Of course, a lot of people who have followed how this has panned out will imagine or be looking forward to it, because it's one of those out of the 6. Of course, a case like Kaduna also, there are a lot of expectations on these 2 states and how the Supreme Court is going to rule in that direction. Tonight we'll be bringing you up to speed and bringing you right in the front seat in some of these cases. Tonight I'm being joined by the Nasarawa State Governor, Governor Abdullahi Sule. He joins us live here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Sean. Nice to see you again.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you very much.
It was a narrow path. It's a case of either you win or you lose. What were you expecting today?
I was expecting to win. The reason being, first, at the tribunal, we had 3 judges. They disagreed with themselves. They couldn't even agree, all the 3 of them. 2 of them actually voted against us, therefore we lost. One of them had a very comprehensive report, and he voted for us, and he said we won. And so we picked from there, and then went to the appeal court, where there were now more experienced senior judges, and all the 3 of them unanimously said we won. So you can imagine I came into the Supreme Court with a lot of confidence. I had no whatsoever any doubt in my mind. There was no ambiguity about the fact that we were going to win, and I didn't expect anything less than that. But we thank God Almighty for making it possible.
A major contention in that matter is the issue of overvoting in your election, that you emerge out of an overvoting situation. But I will imagine that on the other side, especially from Mr. Umbugado, who was expecting that the Supreme Court, after the appeal court, has given a judgment that Mr. Umbugado and his team had thought that it was a watertight decision, the lead decision in the appeal court, and thought that the Supreme Court was going to rule in that direction. A lot of people will think, oh, maybe you might just think that it's time to go home, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, back to your profession that you've been to before you came into government. You thought that for a moment it could go either way, isn't it?
I never thought it would go either way.
You were very confident.
The reason why I will tell you that is because from the beginning, they discussed about this overvoting, and they brought the VBAS machines. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but they brought those VBAS machines that will determine and confirm whether there was overvoting or not. None of those VBAS machines was even operated, open, or decided. In case they were open, probably our lawyers could have argued and say, oh no, these were not the right VBAS machines. But they were not even open at all. They brought them, they took them back. So that was the basis of the proof. And that's what our lawyers were at the trial court. At the tribunal, they just brought them and took them out. Now, a lot of people just keep talking about overvoting, and they keep talking about Gayam Ward and Chiroma Ward. So according to the opposition, in Gayam Ward, the INEC gave us extra 20,000 votes. In Chiroma Ward, according to them, they gave us extra 30,400 votes. That's 50,000 votes. So go back and look at the arithmetic. We won the election by 347,000 to 283. So say take the entire 51,000 votes. And that's what actually the third judge at the tribunal did. He took the entire 40,000 votes and threw them away and came up with his decision. So if you do, you will still come up with roughly about 297 against their 283. But what they did was they said, okay, the same overvoting they were accusing us, so they went to Ashige, where also there was overvoting and the INEC canceled it. And they brought that back on into it. And that's what the appeal court actually said. You are not being fair to the other party. Why will you say you disagreed with overvoting with one of the parties, but then you agreed with the other parties? But to be honest with you, Asheun, I'm happy it's over, it's gone, it's finished. That's the end of it. And we can now focus on the job and move on.
There is also the saying on the ground that maybe Abdullahi Sule has lost the followership that brought him into office in the first term. You look at the elections that your party lost, senatorial seats, House of Reps seats that you lost, and the imaginations of politicians on the ground that there is no way practically possible that you would have won that election only because the election was rigged in your favor.
This election was completely different from so many other elections. In Lagos, we lost the presidential election, 700,000 votes to something. In Kaduna, we lost the presidential election by those kind of numbers. In Katsina, we lost the election by that. You can go to so many states. That's what happened. As a matter of fact, in the south, in the northeast, we only won at the presidential election, Borno. All the 5 other states, Adamawa, we lost the election. So these elections is not about party. It's about individuals. It's about capacity. It's about competence. It's about people who can deliver. So the question of you lost this is all a matter. I had people who contested for senatorial elections under SDP. Somebody like Wadada. He will go in and actually during the campaign, I say, I am campaigning for myself for SDP, but I'm campaigning for A.A. Sule because he is the most competent person among all the gubernatorial candidates. These were the kind of elections we had. So if we lost those senatorial seats as a result of internal wranglings within APC. It's not because APC has lost ground in Nasarawa State, and that's what happened.
But again, there are those who will say 2 strong leaders of your party were not with you before your election. You lost ground in several districts of your state. You lost ground politically, internally. There was wrangling within your party, and the dynamics that you took to the election was against you. It wasn't in your favor.
The dynamics were 100% for me. The reason is because these were the kinds of issues that they mentioned. Talk about the same issues that I told you about people who will go campaigning under one platform and again still campaigning for the governor, just because they had their own problems within the party. This election was beyond party. It was actually about individual, and that's what happened. Well, let's talk about the PDP in that case. At the same presidential election that you are talking about, APC actually defeated PDP. We were defeated by Labour Party, not by PDP, because APC came second in the same election. So if that is the case, then the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate will have won the gubernatorial election. But he was not even close. So it's about individuals. And I think Nasarawa State has always done that. We demonstrated that, in the year 2011, where CPC was the only state that CPC actually won gubernatorial election. 20, the same day, the same election, 20 members of the House of Assembly out of 24 were PDP. Yet, only 4 were APC, yet we won the gubernatorial election. So Nasarawa is not about a party.
But you cannot take away the fact that you had issues internally in the APC.
Nobody doesn't have issues.
But you had a major issue. Some of the leaders of your party were not with you, Governor.
There was no leader that has come out to say it's not with me.
But I mean,
these are speculations.
They may not be able to come out. These are not speculations, sir.
Yeah, but
these were issues in your party prior to the election.
In Kefi, where Abdullahi Adamu was the distant, we won the largest margin in Kefi, 15,000 votes that we won in the entire Kefi zone. And that is his local government.
Was Senator Makura with you?
100% with me.
I mean, because what we hear on the ground is totally different.
You know, what you hear is different.
The body language of the politicians who were in your party thought that they were not on the same page. In fact, they said they supported other candidates other than yours.
Well, they have not come out to campaign for, we have not seen them going out with any candidate. We have not seen them talking for any candidate.
Maybe in the dark,
we have not.
In the open, they may not.
So something happening in the dark, you probably know in darkness. I don't know anything darkness. As far as we are concerned, they came out clearly. They campaigned for me. They went everywhere with me. Abdullah Adamu went everywhere with me in Kefi's zone. Abdullah Adamu, again, up till this moment, he went to all the court judgments. Every day there was a court decision. He went for me.
You were able to resolve your differences before the election?
We didn't even have any differences to resolve.
Are you a better politician after this old tussle?
I have learned a lot, but I don't know whether I'm a better politician. But I've learned a lot. But the process for me, as far as I'm concerned, is that I came in actually to set a foundation, for the kind of work in Nasarawa. And the people are seeing it, and the people are appreciating it. And all the noise you hear on the street is not indicated in Nasarawa State. We don't see it on the ground.
I mean, what would be the biggest lesson that this has taught you? You were a professional who came into politics. I mean, a lot of people will say, Abdullah Sule is not a politician. And that's why some of the problems you had in this election were evident. And there are those who will say, oh, it's because he's not the kind of politician that has been on the ground in the ilk of those kind of politicians that you met on the ground. But then, what will be your biggest lesson that you have learned?
You see, the politician is not always that politicians are the ones who win elections. People sometimes look at other indices rather than just being a politician. In Nasarawa State, I cannot compare myself to the late Ali Akwedoma being a politician. He lost. As a sitting governor, he was defeated. I always like to give example with Nasarawa State. He was a politician while I was still in primary school. You see, these are the kinds of things that are there. But you see, some of the things that you hear on the social media, some of the things that you hear in the news, sometimes some of us find it very difficult to understand. Yes, I'm not your everyday kind of politician because I came in with a vision in order to add value, to develop, to bring out what is happening in Nasarawa State. And every one of those areas, we are seeing a result. Today, Nasarawa State is going to be an oil producer. Today, Nasarawa State is going to be the first state that has discovered huge commercial lithium, and we are going to commission the first factory that we have. Today, I can go in today on so many things, but that's what I came for. I came in to do that. But in the process, you have to play politics sometimes, and we are doing that.
If you have to play politics, then would you?
Yeah, well, we are playing it.
No, I'm saying, I mean, this is your second time as governor.
Yeah.
But if the opportunity presents itself for you to put yourself into politics again, would you do that?
For the third time
not as a governor,
okay.
But in any other capacity, would you want to be on the ballot again if the opportunity presents itself?
I'm not sure about that because I have come in only to be a governor. I didn't come in to be a chairman of local government, a member of the Senate, a House of Representatives. I didn't have any dream for any of those things.
Even the president? Even
the president, I had no dream for that.
But if it comes your way?
President is not easy thing.
Or even senator?
A lot of people know. This I can tell you categorically today. A.A. Sule will not go for Senate.
So after being a governor,
you have
for 8 your eyes on what you want to do?
I have done, by the time I finish my 8 years, I will do whatever. So you can take it from me confidently, not the kind of question they ask me hypothetically. This is confidently, that I have no intention of running for the office of the Senate. You can save this tape and play it one day.
What would you say to Mr. Omugadu tonight?
I told him many times before. Many times people have spoken, and I told him, this is not your turn, my brother. Wait for your turn. We have a governor that, with all sense of humility, you cannot compare your credentials with him in any way whatsoever. I have a governor that has vision. I have a governor that has history, has background, has set up, and has proven beyond reasonable doubt, for those who would like to see. And because of that, it is not yet your turn. You are still young. You still have time to go. Come and partner with us. You don't have to join APC, but give us some of your own ideas. We can turn it, we can work with you, because this particular journey is over today. So if you are getting ready to come and participate in the development of Nasarawa State, we are ready to partner with you for the development of Nasarawa State. That's it. That's
so you are ready to work with him?
Oh I'm ready to work with I'm the governor of every citizen of Nasarawa.
I'm talking about Mr. Umbugado. He's giving you a tough contest. He's giving you a run for your money in this election.
I don't know about run for the money. He contested election, he lost. I won the election. He went to tribunal, he had a split decision. We went to appeal court, we got 3-0. We went to the highest court, we got 5-0. I don't know what is the contest for the money.
The money that you spent in all of these cases, you wouldn't have spent it if Umbugado had not contested against you.
Umbugado, Labaram Maku, and this and that had all taken me during 2019 election. So it's just a repeat. They took me all the way to Supreme Court in their 2019. So it is not today that I have faced this kind of challenge. And in the history of Nasarawa State, there has never been any election since 2019 that Nasarawa, the opponent, had not gone all the way to Supreme Court. So I expected I was going to be taken all the way to Supreme Court.
This election, Governor Sule, had largely divided the people of Nasarawa State. Ethnic line, religious line. This is not the first time we are hearing it, but this time around it's also intense. Now that the dust is settled, how do you hope to pull the fiber of your state together to unite your people? Is it supposed to be your immediate task?
No, my immediate task is the security of the people and development of the state. The question of all these other issues you have mentioned is something driven by a few number of people. We people that have come out. Now, what has brought about this? They use the Muslim ticket as the basis of this division. If not, this is not the first time I ran for governor. I ran in 2019. We didn't have these kind of problems. So they bank on that area and kept talking about it, and kept talking about ethnicity, about religion, about this.
But is a Muslim ticket the right thing to do, though? Politically, morally, and legally?
We have won election with it.
But is it right?
No, I'm saying we have won election with
it. Does it appeal to the sensibility of those who are also citizens of the state, who are of the other religion?
Democracy is freedom. APC was not the only political party. So those who didn't have any problem with that voted for Asuwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those who had problems with that went to the other parties that didn't have Muslim ticket. That's what democracy is all about.
It's a political sensibility that the politicians are playing on. But is it the right thing to do?
No, it's not about political sensibility. You know, it's about a vision. It's about a program. It's about somebody that you can work with. You know? So if he made up his mind as a candidate that the best person that I feel I can work with happens to be of certain religion, okay, he decided to take that decision. You can't blame him. That's what happened.
So in all of this, you don't think unity of the people is important?
Unity
of Nasarawa State people?
We have a lot of Christians in the party. We have people from all the ethnic groups in our APC.
So in the aftermath of the Supreme Court judgment, you don't think you need to pull your people together to unite them? The election divided them largely.
We have always done that. We have always brought people together. We have always preached peace.
But this is different. This is an aftermath. Everything is done now. Yeah. Everybody should go back to loving Nasarawa State. But to do that as a leader, don't you think you need to bring everybody back to the table and say, let's refocus?
Sheun, if you actually listen to my speech or watch my video, that's exactly what I did. I told them that God Almighty has brought all of us from Nasarawa State, different greed, different. I even quoted section of my Quran that God says that I'm going to bring you from different backgrounds, and then the whole idea come and work together as a people. That is something I continue to do. Not before, not after, continuously as far as calling the people to unite is concerned. I came and inherited some problems of ethnicity. I'm doing everything possible to solve them. Some of them, I was not even around, when they happened. Today, the problem between the Basa and the Igwiras, we have been working on them. I inherited that problem. So there are so many problems like that, but it is not today. It's not because of this election alone. It's a problem that has been on ground.
Let me show you what greeted the outcome of the Supreme Court on the street of Lafia today. Protest from the PDP. And this is a kind of scene and the scenario, pictures coming in from Lafia, bonfires and agitation from the People's Democratic Party supporters. This is the kind of scenario that I'm talking about. If not properly handled and managed, can escalate so badly. And that's what I'm asking, whether you as the governor and the leader of the state will look at the sensibility of the people in this regard and deal with it urgently?
Sean, I wish you have shown the other pictures. This is something about somebody in front of their office. They burn it. And then the way the story is going is like the whole of Lafia is on fire. In front of the PDP office, they brought these tires and put them. 38 people did this. Today, the 38 people for doing this and causing problems have been arrested. Since they were arrested, Lafia has been in celebration. I wish you can now show the other picture of celebrations all over Lafia.
Your supporters?
Of course.
Was jubilating about your
Of course.
victory.
Yes.
Let's go to the issue of governance in Nasarawa State.
Yes.
Security is a major issue. There is an escalation of kidnapping and insecurity within the capitals, the nation's capital, Abuja, the FCT. And these, whatever concern the FCT, must concern Nasarawa State.
Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of the communities in Nasarawa State that are satellite towns to the FCT. A lot of people who are living in Nasarawa who work in Abuja. In this regard, I know that a few initiatives have been brought up. The Mietiala, the Fulani community, there are vigilante groups that are now being put together to fight these. How are you dealing with that situation? Because a lot of people within the perimeter of your state, within the fringes and the satellite communities are worried.
Worried about what?
About insecurity. And the kidnapping.
No, you see, insecurity, you have to look at it from different perspectives. It's just like this bonfire that you showed me in front of one office, and then we say life here is on fire. So it's the same kind of scenario, where you talk about the insecurity. Look at life here, or look at Nasarawa State, okay, before we came in. Look at Nasarawa State today. Go to the real true farmers, not politicians. Ask them, have they improved? Have they been able to go to their farms now? Have they been able to do that? As a result of these efforts in security, today, Nasarawa State is #1 in the sesame production, sesame farming in the nation. Nasarawa State is #2 in yam production in the nation. Nasarawa State is #2 in cassava production in the nation. If the insecurity is so bonfire, the way you are describing it, then all these people will not be able to go to farm. So what you read on the social media where people take pictures sometimes and show you what is happening in Afghanistan in that and say it is actually happening.
Are you saying that the insecurity situation is not real?
It is real, but it is not, it's highly exaggerated.
The kidnappings are exaggerated too?
No. There are kidnappings everywhere around Nigeria. There are kidnappings right here in Abuja.
But we're talking about a few weeks ago, Governor,
yes,
which is escalating. The minister of the FCT says that they are already handling and seeing those who are informants of these bandits who are invading or coming into the capital city. Right. So if they are coming into the capital city, and I'm asking a direct question, that there's a nexus between whatever happens in the FCT and Nasarawa State, and as a governor, which some of these incidents that have happened in the past has bothered you because the closeness of your state and the FCT, and that's what I'm asking. In terms of proactiveness, what are you doing?
In terms of proactiveness, you will see that I met with the FCT minister. You will see that we met with the governors of the North Central. You will see that we met with the military officers. We met actually with Mr. President on the issue of this. Every now and then, we meet within the state, and we keep resolving these issues. Security is a responsibility of everyone. So therefore, just yesterday or 2 days ago, you have seen it's in Nasarawa State that the Fulani vigilante have formed and started also working in ensuring, because they know where and the route to go, for this kind of Fulani militants. And so they are helping the security agencies in order to do that. We are starting that in Nasarawa State. So these are the kind of things that you see.
Yeah, my final question would be in the area of mining. I understand that the state is interested in mining and that there are licenses that you are looking at. Can you, in 30 seconds, give us a summary of what that is? And what is it, lithium that you want to mine?
The state is interested in mining. The state is called mining. It's a state of solid minerals.
But you know that the federal government and the private sector are usually the ones who exploit these processes.
Yes, but it's companies that do it, not federal government. Federal government gives out licenses. Nasarawa State has obtained 3 licenses, to give you the direct answer. One is for lithium. We have obtained the license. Two, there is gold deposits. In Karo local government, we have obtained a license in that particular area. Also, in Toto local government area, we have also obtained another license for tin mining. So we located the areas where there are prospects have already been carried out, and we have seen it, and we applied for licenses in those particular areas.
So tin, lithium, and gold.
Correct.
And you are going to soon be a petroleum producing area.
Inshallah.
So Nasarawa State is going to be the next big thing.
Nasarawa State is already a next big thing.
I wish you'd bet. We'll see how that all of these companies that you're setting up are going to be owned by Nasarawa State, 100%. Or backed by private sector.
Exactly. We have PPP arrangements already in housing. A lot of the housing estates that we are building are PPP arrangements. The ShopRite we are building is PPP arrangement. So, that's my expertise, my brother.
Land and properties in total in Karu will now go up with this announcement now, because the exploration, one thing that happened in Dangote refinery and its environment, people started buying, and properties are now expensive in those areas.
There you go. And that's exactly what is happening in Nasarawa State. Most of the places we constructed roads and housing is coming up, all the properties have come up. If you go there now, you won't find any land for 5 million, 10 million naira.
And this is how I've appealed to your colleagues right here on the program, that each state needs to take their destinies into their hand and explore the God-given potentials under the ground.
There you go.
Doing this, you don't need the federal government in most cases.
There you go.
I wish you the very best, and I hope that some of the states also will be able. And at the end of the day, it's not exploring it, it's also making it beneficial to the people of the state.
And that's exactly what is happening in
I wish you the very best. You can smile today, Governor Abdullah Sule,
I've always
and
smiled.
sleep well too.
I told you many times, I wanted to appear on your program. The lawyers will say, no, don't go, because they know me. I'm blunt. I'm going to say something.
You say the way it is.
Yeah, I will say it the way it is. And then they are afraid maybe that will be detrimental to our case also. But I'm free to do that now. So, free at last.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you,
Governor Abdullah Sule of Nasarawa State.
Thank you very much.
We take a break, everyone. And his colleague in Kaduna State will be talking to us about the Supreme Court. Can he also smile? Can he say, free at last? And now we'll be speaking after this break with the Governor of Kaduna State, Senator Sani, about the Kaduna judgment and the aftermath. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Everyone, let's get back to it. In the Supreme Court judgment delivered today, one of it out of the 6 is that of Kaduna State. Senator Sani of the APC has now been affirmed, his election affirmed by the Apex Court. Of course, we've seen reaction trailing that on the ground in Kaduna State, supporters and jubilant members of the APC alike have thrown to the street of Kaduna to show their, express their joy and the way they feel about the outcome of the Supreme Court judgment. All right, then, let's speak with the man who today the Supreme Court ruled in his favor, Senator Sani, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, who joins us live from Kaduna, the capital of the state. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, and congratulations on your victory at the Supreme Court today.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
How does this feel, though? After all said and done, 3 layers of court battle and a campaign, an election, the Supreme Court has said you are the rightful winner or the winner of that election. How does it feel?
My brother, I think victory for people of Kaduna State who came out and elected me freely. Of course, today the Supreme Court unanimously put by the good people of Kaduna State. And of course, I want to use this opportunity to thank my own brother and friend, Honorable Isa Aishuru, at least for embracing legal process and ventilating its own, at least ventilating its own anger by going to the Supreme Court at this critical time. But of course, if you remember, he was at the tribunal. After the tribunal, he also went to the Court of Appeal. After Court of Appeal, now the Supreme Court. For me, what he did was actually commendable because, of course, that is the way of democracy. If you are not satisfied, you should approach judiciary. And of course, that's what he did. And I want other well-meaning Nigerians to emulate him by certainly always going to tribunal or going to the judiciary to always make their own case. But today, it is clear. The Supreme Court unanimously affirmed my election. And of course, the judgment was extremely sound if you follow the judgment today. So for me, it's okay. I'm not like other politicians who probably will be angry because an opponent took me to court. I personally am product of democracy activism in Nigeria. And I believe in the rule of law and judiciary. So that is a normal thing to do. But now that the election has been affirmed by the Supreme Court, I would like to call on this issue to join hand with me to move Kaduna State forward, because I believe every stakeholder in Kaduna State and citizens of Kaduna State who have something to offer will certainly be invited by the government to work with us. Personal glory is about Kaduna State. And that is why I want to invite them, him and any other citizen of Kaduna State who have something to offer to come. Let's work together. That is the spirit of democracy.
Well, I mean, if you're saying this on national television, have you been able to personally reach out to Mr. Ashiru, maybe via telephone or any other means, to ask for what you're asking right now from him?
I am the one who actually won this victory today at the level of Supreme Court, and I made the call openly even before this interview. And of course, not only him, every citizen of Kaduna State have something to offer, certainly will be invited. Of course, as you are aware, since May 29, when I was sworn in, we have been running people-centered government, inclusive government, as well as pro-development administration in Kaduna State, where we try as much as possible to carry every stakeholder along, irrespective of party or religious affiliation. That's what we've been doing, and that has really helped the government in bringing everyone together. We are working closely, irrespective of any party differences. So that's what we are doing. So this actually would be also a positive addition to what we've been doing since May 29th last year.
Well, I mean, like I asked your colleague, Governor from Nasarawa, said, what lesson do you think this process has taught you?
And of course, you see, for me, I have not lost a single sleep since the beginning of this process, but probably because I was a member of the National Assembly that actually participated in drafting this electoral act 2022. So it's very clear. You cannot approach tribunal with only 4 witnesses. PDP, if you look at it critically, when they went to court, at the level of tribunal, they went with only 4 witnesses. I stand to be corrected. You can go and check. And of course, the electoral act is clear. If you want to contest any election, you have to understand that any witness that approaches tribunal that is not an agent or someone that voted at a particular polling unit, if he appears before tribunal, is hearsay, because you cannot really be a witness in an election that you do not participate at a particular point or time. So I think that was number one, because if they really have any case, they will have been able to produce witnesses from a particular polling unit that they were claiming there was some level of infraction there. But unfortunately, because they don't have anything to prove, that was number one. Number two, if you are familiar with the Electoral Act, you can check clearly that's paragraph 18(1) and 3 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act 2022 that's talking about pre-hearing notice. You don't have to be a lawyer to know Electoral Act 2022, probably because I was involved in drafting the act as a member of the National Assembly in the Senate. That was why it was clear to me that this Electoral Act is time-bound. If you don't file within a time, you will be abandoning your own case. That's what happened at the level of their own petition. That's number two. So based on merits and also on abandoning their case because of hearing notice, they have lost everything. So for me, as someone who is familiar, that was the reason why I was not surprised, really, when the Court of Appeal unanimously gave me the judgment and affirmed the ruling of the tribunal.
Well, Governor Sani, there are those who will say the case of the PDP in your matter were thrashed out based on technicalities. And those who will say the real meat of the matter is the fact that the election was fraught with a lot of irregularities, which the PDP is saying that your election, you were not rightfully elected by the people of Kaduna State, but that the court did not agree with the PDP based on technicalities.
Can I correct you before you also misinform the general public? Maybe I made 2 points, you didn't listen to the other one. Number one, technicality. Number two, on the merit. Because there are a lot of authorities, both at the level of Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. If you followed all the rulings at this very both tribunal, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court, if you just have to go and check. Maybe because sometimes we need to be very carefully informing the general public who are vulnerable. What I said clearly is that they approached the tribunal with only 4 witnesses. Unfortunately, those witnesses they came did not even participate in those polling units they were contesting. So as far as the Electoral Act is concerned, it's hearsay. They are on submission. That is the Electoral Act. So it's on the merit. Because if you say there's a rigging or there's anything, and rigging maybe takes place in Beningwari local government, and you bring a witness from your local government, what is he doing there? Really and truly, you should bring a witness that voted at that particular polling unit. That's what the electoral says. It's simple, black and white. It's very clear. So for me, you don't have to be allowed to know this. And some of us that drafted this, that participated in this electoral act 2022, so we tried to educate a lot of people that were not in the National Assembly, but many people did not listen to us. So that is the issue. If you said, if you are contesting election sharing with someone, and you said someone rigged at a particular polling unit, you approach tribunal, and you could not bring a single witness from that polling unit, not even the agent that stood for you, and you decided to bring someone from a different local government to be a witness, how will that be an issue? That means it's hearsay. That is what the Electoral Act is clear about, 2022. As of today, that is a law. That's on the merit, not technicality. So today's judgment, just like the Court of Appeal judgment, the ruling is both on their appeal and our counter appeal. You have to understand the judgment. It's 2 rulings. I hope you're clear about this.
No, yeah, because at the Court of Appeal, the lead witness that the PDP brought to bear, at that and the reading of the judgment, the court has said that there were no substantial evidence to back the forgery allegations against your party, and that the allegations of deduction of votes, stuffing of ballots, and mutilation of sensitive electoral materials made by the said witness were not proven. So yes, they brought a witness, but that is the position of the Court of Appeal. What I am putting to you, Your Excellency, is that...
Let me help you again. Before you again misinform people again, my brother Sule, what they said, go back and read the judgment, that witness, what he said at the level of tribunal was hearsay because he was not either an agent or someone that participated in that election at that particular polling unit. So it's clear. Can we now be clear? Because look, for me, like I said earlier, I was really happy when he approached the tribunal, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. Look, I contested election in the past. I lost some and won some. So I'm not like other politicians who would be worried because someone took me to court. It's clear. What did he do? He is trying to assist our democratic process. If you want to develop a democratic process, you have to go and test relevant sections of our laws in the competent court of law. So what he did is right. That's the most important. But the truth of the matter is, the court have now affirmed my election, both the tribunal, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. That is a fact as of today. Any other hearsay and speculation. And I'm not going to be someone who will be sitting here talking about speculation. That is the fact of it.
Governor Sani, in all of this, there must be a very big lesson, especially someone who has sworn to serve the interests of the people of your state. Give us an understanding of the kind of commitment that this has brought out of you going forward. Now, the litigations are over. Going forward is governance, and 100% governance that will confront you. Do you have a renewed commitment to the people of Kaduna State after today's judgment?
Because I was committed from 29 May, like I said. Because as I'm concerned, I took an oath on 29 May 2023. I was never distracted for a second. Not for a second, like I told you. And look at what we've been doing in Kaduna. Those who look at our rural transformation drive will agree with me that the people of Kaduna State are really happy. Look at the way we have been able to bring everyone together. What the people of Southern Kaduna and those people of Northern Kaduna, everyone is working together. We are bringing unity. People are working together as one family. We have made it clear from day one. Politics from 29 May was over. It's about governance. It's about the people of Kaduna State. And I made it clear to everyone when I came in. I brought the religious leaders together. All of them are happy today. Everyone is happy. We are taking development in every part of Kaduna State. When you check, as a journalist, you need to check and listen to what people are saying. Today, we are working as one family. That is the most important thing. For me, that is the key about governance. Governance is about bringing the people together, ensuring that everyone is given equitable treatment. You must be fair to everyone. And that's what's happening in Kaduna as we're speaking. And everyone is contributing as we're speaking. So we don't have any problem. We are focusing on our 7-point agenda, which for me, we are really, really doing very well from the May 29, 2023. Security of our people and their own properties is what is more important than anything. We are looking at the human capital development. We have scaled up our effort to ensure that we attack the problem of out-of-school children. We are really working very hard, looking at our educational development, healthcare development. That's another thing that is very key to us. For the first time, we have budgeted a lot of money to support our farmers because we believe we need to increase the level of productivity, create jobs. We need to reduce the level of poverty. That's why we're also looking at the small and medium enterprise. We are working with everyone in Kaduna State. So that's what is key. And that started on May 29, 2020, like I told you.
Governor Sani, you will look, once we saw your meeting, the stakeholders meeting that you have with traditional rulers, with different interest groups in the area of security, and those who have applauded that decision, and you will see that when, after May 29, there seems to be some kind of relief around the northwest region. But in November and December, there was a spike in most parts of the country on violent activities and criminal activities in the country. In parts of Giwa local government area, about 24 or 48 hours ago, there were some bandit activities on the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. Kidnappers are said to have returned. Does this give you some kind of worry or perhaps a need to rejig the strategy?
Sean, I can't, maybe you are not so clear. Can you repeat the question? Because,
no, I was making reference to the effort you made, the multi-stakeholder effort that you...
very stable.
Can you hear me now?
The question about the security.
Yeah, I was asking a question about insecurity issues and what happened in Giwa local government area and the issues of kidnapping. Do you think there needs to be a rejigging of the strategy?
Yeah, I want to inform you here that only a few days ago, I announced at the level of a post-security meeting, which we had with the security agencies in Kaduna State, with our traditional rulers, as well as local government chairmen of the frontline local governments that have this problem with security. And I made it clear at that meeting that I'm working closely with the defense headquarters under the leadership of our brother, General Christopher Musa, as we are speaking, they are going to now establish 2 more forward operating bases of the military in Kaduna. One will take care of Binongwari Giwaazis, and the other one will take care of Zangwan Katakaura down to Chukul local government. So we are working closely to ensure that we improve the boots on ground, have more military bases in Kaduna. So I am happy that the Defense Headquarters is working with me closely. And in the next 2 weeks or so, because I've already given them the space and the building where they will occupy. So in the next few weeks, we'll have 2 major forward operating bases of the military in Kaduna State. That will help us. That's number 1. Number 2, as you're aware, we do have regular post security meetings in Kaduna where we bring the security agencies as well as treasury rulers, local government chairmen. So we're reviewing this.
Oh dear, it seems to have lost connection with
situation, particularly when it fought for. We work closely. And I was talking about our post security council meeting.
Oh dear. Network so terrible at this moment, but we've been speaking with the executive governor of Kaduna State, Governor Sani, on his victory, and looking forward to after that election. Governor, we lost you for a moment, but I must sincerely thank you for your effort tonight and speaking to us on this program. Congratulations again, Governor Sani, for the victory, and thank you so much for making time to speak with us on the program.
Thank you, my brother Sean. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Bell.
Appreciate it. Well, that was our program tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Akimale. Bye-bye.